Hi again! We have finally made it to the school summer holidays, hooray! So we're all having a little bit of a chill out time, although it's making it tricky to find time to record video because I don't want to be interrupted by small people. So they're playing downstairs, so I need to get on with this. You seem to really enjoy the IKEA hack video that I shared a couple of weeks ago, so I thought I would share a bit more of our DIY this week. Our living space downstairs is a bit of a weird space. It's an open plan L-shaped space with the kitchen at one end, the living area at the other, and then this sort of slightly dead space in that corner. We've used that space for a number of different things. We've used it as a kids' play area, we've put a table there and used it as a craft zone, but it's never quite worked because it's not quite big enough to be a space in its own right. It always feels a little bit awkward. We also bought a large freestanding shelving unit from IKEA, which we used at the end of our living room to sort of try and just create a slightly cosier space within that open plan area. But again, it was quite awkward. That shelving unit was big and bulky and just meant that we couldn't be flexible. If we wanted to move it at any point, we were stuck with it there basically. The other issue we have in this house is that because it's a 1970s house, it lacks any period features whatsoever. Each room is just a really boxy square. We don't have any fireplaces, there was no cornicing, really basic skirting board. So I thought maybe we could kill two birds with one stone downstairs and build a huge wall of shelving that would add architectural interest as well as give us loads of storage so that we could get rid of that shelving unit. Now, this is the sort of DIY project that my husband Ben loves. I am extremely lucky to have a very practical other half. He loves DIY and he's really good at it. He's like my handy Andy, we'll call him Builder Ben maybe. So as soon as I mentioned the possibility of building these shelves, he got out his notebook and he was sketching away trying to work out how we could do them. Then he got his dad down to stay for a couple of days. They ordered in a big load of MDF, which is what we used to build the shelves, and they just cracked on with it. The first thing they did was to box in around the window and they attached that to the wall using frame fixers. Then they fixed side panels to the right at the end of each wall, and again they used frame fixers to attach those to the wall. The bottom shelf came next, so on each side of that boxing in they created what looks like one long shelf running the whole length of the wall, and they used battens to secure that. And then they could add in all those other shelves which were attached to the side panels using pocket screws. Painting all those shelves was a truly mammoth task, but it was well worth it because they look so lovely now they're finished. They really do look like part of the fabric of the room, like they've always been there, and they definitely add that architectural interest that was so sort of lacking in that area. They do a great job of storage. We have a mixture of practical stuff on there and decorative stuff. I have my best china stored on there because we don't quite have space for it in the kitchen, and it's white, so I don't mind it being on display. And then it's a mix of that with other decorative bits, a lot of vintage stuff from my old nan's house. And I just love faffing around. I change the display all the time. It's given me loads of space to put all my indoor plants. They love that windowsill because it gets plenty of light. And I just need to get a few more trailing plants, I think. I love the look of them coming down over the shelves. I've tried to keep the colours quite simple and just keep it to quite a white palette with just a few sort of browns mixed in, just because I want it to fall back rather than to be shouting and really attention grabbing. It's given that end of the room a real purpose, which is what we wanted it to do, and it's freed up the living space so that that feels a lot more relaxed and a lot more informal. So it's been a real DIY success story for us. If you have any questions at all about the shelves, how we constructed them, how I arranged the display on them, do leave me a comment, click the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again next week. Bye!